Okay, so we do get a lot of questions. So here's the deal. Um, Most of the time when I do a webinar, when I answer a question, it just sparks more questions. So here's what I'm going to do. In order to make sure that this steers in a direction that's going to be helpful to everybody, um, I'm going to answer some common questions, which often lead to more questions that I can answer in real time, right? So I know all of you are just already hammering questions in. That's totally fine. I am uh, more than willing to answer any questions right here in real time. But we're going to go over some questions that you have because most of them are going to be centered around what you're going to get. Because my offerings are unique and compelling and blah blah blah. It's not me just patting myself on the back. It's just me being cognizant of what people want. So let's get into it right now. So some more explanation of what I mean by once per month group coaching. Now, to let you know, the first month is already waiting because the first month of this is onboarding is the best way to put this. You're new to this or you're kind of new to this. I've been doing this for some time, and it's just one of those things where it takes you about 30 days to get things like really moving. I'm not saying that you can't make money in the space of 30 days, but what I'm saying is that your first 30 days are going to be a little um, new, and you need some content that, well, as you can see, the first month of this content is just already waiting for you because it's training and you're going to learn stuff, and it like you don't need me and you don't need a group of people to surround you and be like, yeah, go. It's pretty fast stuff that um, let's put it this way: if you were really motivated, you and I could sit down in your first week of your weekly coaching that I have, that I just already talked about. um, all of that onboarding could be taken care of in a matter of hours, right? I mean, but that's if you're like really like, let's do this. But if you want to take some time to digest, because a lot of my content is, how have people put it, like drinking from a fire hose, this will this will give you the opportunity to take some time and digest, right? So again, if you want to go super fast, I naturally move at a super fast rate. It's normal to me. So when people go, "Wow, you did so much," I don't know what that means because I just move at the rate that I move. But I've heard many times by other people that, "Wow, you move really fast." Okay, so again, the once per month group coaching, your first month is already waiting because your first month is going to be like, oh, how does this work? And you're going to want to call me, and that's totally fine. You can call me at any time. In fact, that's what the bat phone is, right? We'll get to the bat phone. I'll discuss more of that later. But let's say that you're in your first month, you're learning this stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, holy crap, I have a question about this. You can you can reach out to me via Facebook, a private message, and say, hey, I have a question about this thing. Can we jump into a Zoom call? And then within minutes, we would be on a Zoom call, right? So um, again, as I have worked with other people, it takes about a month for them to process this system. But if they want to move any faster, all they got to do is go through the coaching that's already there. That's like if you buy right now, all of that training is already there. And if you have any questions, all you have to do is message me on Facebook, right? I call that the bat phone, like, oh, Batman, like your own personal bat signal. And then I swoop in and beat up all the bad guys of your confusion, right? So that's pretty much it. Um, I do group coaching for everybody so that there's information and training already available to you that you can consume at your own rate. At any point that information gets too much or needs clarification, you can pick up your bat phone, and that's, just messaging me on Facebook and saying, "Hey Zane, can we jump into a Zoom call?" And I would say yes, and then us in the Zoom call would be us discussing, "Oh, okay, so you need to click this and then do this," and then done. Most of the time, I would just do it for you, but again, this is your business. You get to decide how things move forward. So that's the once per month group coaching. Um, Really, I just want to make sure that you understand that if you were to jump in right now, you could leave this webinar and you could start consuming the information right away, and you would be able to learn how to, like, set up coaching with me, um, where to find all of the training that you need to get started, where you go to do all the done for you stuff, those kinds of stuff, the things that you are genuinely interested in. All that stuff is already waiting, and if you have any questions about those things, you can contact me on, the bat phone, right? I keep using that. And then you'd say, "Hey, can we jump into a Zoom call?" And then we would jump into a Zoom call, and then I would clarify those things, and then you'd be able to move forward in that. And there you go. The rest of the monthly coaching is basically once per month. I say, "Hey, this is the channel that you should be working on, the channel type that's going to make the most amount of money in the progression of this coaching," right? So you may come in on 1 month, but everyone else is at a different place. You would be able to pick up and continue learning once you understood all of that onboarding, of which I'd just be there whenever you need. We pick up that bat phone, and then you would be essentially onboarded. And then every single month, every time I said, "Okay, here's the channel that you should be working on that will make the most amount of money," then you would already be able to create that channel or have me create that channel. And then during the once per week coaching one-on-one, you and I would discuss ways to continue developing that specific channel to make the most amount of money. So there's the once per month group coaching. Um, I'm answering that question, but I'm also sort of letting this hang because I haven't looked at any of the questions. But now you'll probably have more questions. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump to the next slide, and then we'll go through some other stuff, because I promise if I jump to the next slide, I will probably answer a whole bunch of other questions that you probably have right now, and then some other questions will come up. All right. Okay. So the next thing, right, is my channel cheat sheet. Right now, my channel cheat sheet, this is what I use to make sure that I focus on growing channels that have the highest chance of success with the least effort expended, right? Because we're talking about creating multiple channels, multiple YouTube channels, and that takes the same amount of work every single time. The actual checklist of things that you need to do to create a YouTube channel that is fully optimized and makes money and all that other kind of stuff, that process is literally the same every single time. It does not change. It's what you focus on that is the important thing. So what you're going to get is my channel cheat sheet, so that you understand the types of YouTube channels that you should be creating that generate the most amount of revenue. Now, we're not just talking about specifically like, "Oh, okay, so this channel, like the Home Shopping Network, of course, that channel has the highest probability of making money because it's just, hey, this is the product, click and buy." It's very obvious to see where money can be made. But maybe something like a YouTube channel that just has nothing but like little kid videos and teaching about like little kid videos, teaching little kids how to do little kid things. But yet that channel has millions of subscribers and it gets a lot of money. Well, it's because that channel is positioned in such a way that all of the audience members, when they see any kind of advertisement, they fit in that particular demographic that the advertiser wants, not the person who's creating the content. So the advertiser is just really savvy, so they just understand, hey, this is where I'm going to put my advertisements. Well, if you're smart enough to create content that is positioned in front of somebody who just so happens to have products, right? The system of YouTube extrapolates that information, and all you have to do is create content and then just make the same content over and over again. But that is a huge gamble. Like, how do you know what kind of content that you should make that's going to get the most amount of attention and the most amount of clicks, not to your videos, but clicks to, you don't know what the ad's going to show. Yeah, that's a lot of variables, and why I have a cheat sheet. There are, when it comes to an intentional decision, I want to make money with this, you have to think broader than just your content on that channel. You have to think about other channels that can feed traffic to that channel. Yeah. So this cheat sheet gives you an example, an understanding. Like, say, here is your money channel, and then there's a feeder channel, a channel that has absolutely nothing to do with that channel, but has a ton of audience members that would love your channel that makes you money. Well, if you control the other channel that has nothing to do with your money channel, and you can push traffic to your money channel with all the traffic of buyers traffic, it puts you in a really, really good position. And it's one of the biggest things that you can do to stop your business from getting killed by a deadly virus of not attention, or the right kind of attention. So that is the My Channel cheat sheet, of which, yes, that answers a lot of questions before, but I understand now we'll probably produce some more questions. So what I'm going to do again, before I go to the actual questions, I'm going to move to a new slide that's going to answer a bunch of questions from before, but also probably generate some new questions. But stay with me. I know you guys will love this. So moving on, channel creation done for you. Right now, I've talked a lot about what the group coaching is going to be like. Okay, so the group coaching, I'm just going to say, hey, for this month, this is the type of channel that you should be creating. You don't have to create it, but it's there in the members area each and every month. This is what I promise. We're going to go over the new type of channel to create. This is the type of channel that you should make in order to make the most amount of money. If you have made these types of channels, you should be making this type of YouTube channel this month, right? Now, this slide is also to show you that in conjunction with that, if you just don't know, if you're just too busy, part of this is me saying, I'm just going to make the channel for you. Every single month, the channel that I say, hey guys, this is the channel that you should be making that's going to make the most amount of money for all the reasons that we're talking about in the progression of this coaching, right? Now, you may not have time to do that, but it is important. And it is important for not just your network, but also your understanding of how these things work. My job isn't just to make this thing for you, it's also to teach you as I make it. I've done this so many times that I know it just takes a little bit of time in order for the thing to just, sometimes it just takes some time, and I understand that, and you might not. So I understand this so well that maybe you don't have the energy or even the desire to make the channel. Every month, as a part of this coaching, I will say, hey, this is the channel that you need to create. And then I will also make that channel for you, so that when we have our once a week one-on-one coaching, I can say, okay, now here's the channel that I have made, and this channel now connects to these other channels within your specific network. And we can see how this channel and these videos within that channel will connect to your other channels and how those will all work together. So the group coaching will feed into the one-on-one weekly coaching, which will feed back into the group coaching, and all of the done for you services that are compiled within all of this. So again, I've done this for so long, and I've done this for so many different people. I understand that your own desire might kind of disappear over time, and that's fine, because I know with just a little bit of work on my side, I can re-spark that desire by showing you, yeah, but hey, look at your network here and here and here. And then bam, you are just right back in the game, super excited because you had some clarification, you had some coaching, and you saw your own network grow before your own eyes. And that's really like that. I really super, I'm just gonna kind of get on a soapbox here. I really get excited about that kind of stuff when I can see that uh, that we've had some time together, we've had some coaching, and you get excited about your network. And then, I don't know, maybe something happens, maybe something in your personal life, and then you're just not as excited about your network as you once were. And then we have a conversation, and then me being able to pull you from your funk back into your business with positive feelings. That's a personal thing for me that I very much enjoy, and I always strive every day to create that or produce something like that or have something like that in the future that I can create for somebody. So channel creation done for you. This is a really big thing because I have noticed that simply that month one, you might be really excited, but by month three, you just can't see the vision or maybe something's happened. I don't want to stop that desire inside your own heart, inside your own mind of whatever it is that you want. So if all it takes is me creating a channel and saying, "Hey, this is what the new channel looks like, and this is what it'll do for your business and your life, and so on and so forth," and bring you back into the game, that man, that checks a personal checkbox in my own mind. I do this stuff for free. Okay, no, I wouldn't, but again, it's enough to get me really, really working hard for you. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the questions box here because I know, yeah, I know there's there's a lot of questions. So just give me a second here.